Hey guys, Sasha from netbooknews.com over here at the beautiful Bellevue, eastern of Seattle at the Intel App Up Elements show, or developer forum, or however you want to define it. This is my Sony Vaio Z12 that I bought last year, one of the biggest IT investments I've ever made, and guess what I just got yesterday? Woo-hoo-hoo! That's the new Sony Vaio Z generation, and we're about to do an unboxing right now. Okay, the new generation of the Sony Vaio Z, that's a 13.1 inch device. It only weighs 1180 grams. And yeah, let's take a look at the accessory or what's in the box. That's actually the very first notebook I've ever bought that comes with earplugs. We have a little manual about the docking station. So there's an external docking station with a Blu-ray disc and an ATI graphic card. Oh, a little thank you letter from Sony. Well, thank you for taking all my money, because this was like a $3,300 investment. Here's a little cloth to get rid of all the fingerprints on the screens, warranty, blah, blah, blah. Here is a manual, a quick start guide, and we have cables for the PSU over here. Obviously, I unboxed already the cable because I needed it for my previous generation. Here is the Sony. Let's get it over here. And this should be this new docking station. Let's take a look at this one first. Okay. Here we go. Wow, this is fancy. There's a VGA out, an HDMI out, connector for Ethernet, a USB 3.0 and a USB 2.0. This is a slot-in Blu-ray disc, and there is an ATI. Geez, I'm always forgetting it. So yeah, and it has a Radeon 6650M with 1 GB RAM. Okay, and I think that's it pretty much, isn't it? Or maybe, there's something else in the box. Well, this is the power cord and the PSU for the docking station, which is obviously a little bit bigger than the one from the notebook. Okay, here we go. Let's just get rid of all this. And let's take a look at this Vaio Z. I have the version with the Intel Core i7. Okay, here we go. Ooh. So first of all, it's a carbon case. As I told you, it's super light, 1180 grams, 13.1 inch display with a 1920 by 1080p resolution. So it's a not 1080p resolution. 1920 by 1080. It's a 1080p resolution, that's for sure. Let's take a quick look around the system. We have a VGA out over here. There's a Kensington key lock. There are a couple of status LEDs on the front. We have an SD card reader and this HD Duo Magic Gate card reader. We have a jack for your microphone, Ethernet cable, connector, HDMI out, a USB 2.0 and a USB 3.0, and a connector for your PSU. On the bottom you can see this should be the battery. In my opinion, it should be underneath here. But it also came with an extra battery pack. That's how it looks like. It's a slider battery pack that you can put underneath your notebook. Let's try to open all this. Here we go. I tell you one thing, I've never done this before, so this might be a challenge for me. Ooh. Gosh, I'm so excited. Okay. So that's how it looks like. And I guess this is how you do it. You're just opening it here. Here we go. Okay, and then you're locking it. There you go. And you know what? I tell you something. It's still very, very light. Of course, it's not 1180 grams anymore, but still a decent weight. If I compare this to my previous Vaio, well, it's almost the same weight. Almost. Okay, let's get rid of this extra battery again. Let's see if I can make this. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can. Fantastic. Okay, let's get this. Close this again, because I would like to compare this, of course, to the previous version of the Sony Vaio Z12. You can already tell it's way thinner than the new one. And of course, it's running on the Sandy bridge. That's the Core i7 2260M. Gosh, I'm always mixing it up. 2620M, that's the one. It's a 2.7 gigahertz processor and has this turbo boost up to 3.4 gigahertz. It also comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, and I have a 256 gigabyte SSD, which actually these are two 128 gigabyte SSDs in a RAID 0 system, so it's this RAID stripe. And yeah, it should be super fast. It has a Windows 7 Professional pre-installed, and I just can't wait to check it out and do some benchmarking. Let's take a quick comparison look at these two devices. Let me just stack them up. What you can already tell is, look, the new one is definitely wider. I would say about an inch. Yeah, pretty much. Even though it's thinner. Let's take a look from the side. Can you see that? And it's definitely way lighter. What about the keyboard? If we compare the keyboards, it's almost the same layout, even though that we had an enter key over 2 rows on the old one. And over here it's just a small one. Look, the changes of the shift keys. While we had a large left shift key on the Z12, we were very, right shift key, obviously. We have a very small one on the new generation, and the left one is way bigger than the left one on the old Vaio Z12. But besides that, I mean, of course, this is a different layout. I bought this one in Germany, and that's the US version. And you can also see that the trackpad is completely different. This feels kind of weird. This has a kind of structured surface, and these mouse buttons are integrated. I'm not sure I can deal with this. What I had here, separated mouse buttons. These are like all these new Ultrabooks. I hate it. Right? They all try to copy this integrated mouse button trackpad from Apple, and it never really worked out for me. So let's see how I can get used to it, or if I can get used to it. Well, I have to, because this was a super expensive notebook. We have a fingerprint reader here integrated, and that's about it. What about the keys? These keys are very flat, right? Well, it's definitely in the way what kind of physical feedback I'm getting from this keyboard. This is quite different, so I really need to get used to it. But I think the dimensions of each keys are pretty much the same as they are on the previous generation. Also, the power button changed a little bit. It's now over here, while on the Sony Vaio Z12 you had it here and almost in the hinge on the side here. And of course, it has no more optical drive. This came with, I think it was a Blu-ray writer, and the new one doesn't even have anyone anymore. But you know what? I don't need it. Who needs optical drives in the year 2011? I don't. Anyways, first impression, wow, super light, super thin, and should be very, very powerful. Can't wait to do some benchmarks with it and to yeah, to use it as my new working horse. That's the new Sony Vaio Z, the new generation of the old Sony Vaio Z12. I'm Sasha from netbooknews.com. Thanks for watching.